Driving Culture 4, this is Hypebeast Radio. I'm Madrell Stinney here with
Ben Rosen.
And we're sitting down with the Spaghetti Boys.
The Spaghetti Boys.
Sick. How's it going, guys?
How's it going,
we're
man?
Good.
This is Ray Martinez from the Spaghetti Boys.
This is Kerwin from the Spaghetti Boys. You're listening to Hypebeast Radio.
Gang shit. Where are we right now?
We're in the basement of Milk Studios. This is where we normally work out of.
Deep in the belly of the beast. I think they call this the jam room, but it's slowly being converted. You guys mentioned you guys are transforming this into your clubhouse.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Cool. So, in other recent news, you guys just came back from Canada. Like, how was that touring there?
That was really insane. Yeah, the kids over there are just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Luca and Tyler was gonna come.
Yeah.
We did Ottawa, and Ottawa was like a really small town, and like the food there was just terrible. It was like the worst food I ever had ever.
Yeah. What's Canadian food like? I've never been.
I mean, like, it's not even Canadian food. It's just like terrible food. It's like Montreal has good food. Toronto has good food.
Eat a lot of poutine.
Yeah, there's poutine.
I've never eaten anything else out there.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, but Ottawa has the worst food in the world.
So where all did you DJ?
So the first day I just decided to like DJ for free at like the store event they had, and there was a couple kids there, but I came out in like a motorcycle helmet and like a cloak, and that was really funny. And the kids went crazy when I took it off, but I like left it on for 30 minutes, and they were just so taken back by it that they were like staring at me like the whole time and not moving.
Yeah.
And when I took it off, everybody went crazy. But the second day, they had this like huge like basement, just really big and like just super grungy. And there was like a cage around the DJ set because they didn't want people to spill drinks on the CDJs. I feel like there's like other solutions for that, but that was really fun. I got to like play like just like everything and like anything, and they like loved it.
Yeah.
And that was like sick. Yeah.
And then was the last tour stop when you guys went to Apartment 200?
The last tour stop was 200. What kept happening though was I kept losing my voice.
Oh yeah.
So it kept getting worse and worse, and like I didn't know, like I guess I was just learning like what it's like to like just kind of like perform and give this like whole type of, you know, performance while you do this and like keep it on going. But it's like, yeah, you're like just fully paralyzed throughout the whole day, and then you have to do it again.
I was gonna say, like, do you do anything before and after? Like, do you drink like tea with honey? Are there like DJ rituals?
I don't know. I didn't really have time to do anything. I was like, because it would be that, and then the people who like brought you out like try to like traditionally just take you to like places.
Right. So
Yeah.
you pregame
when you just want to rest.
Yeah.
And yeah, the food there was like just garbage.
Yeah.
It was like the worst.
What's the worst thing you ate while you were there?
Everything. Just everything. Steak. Like literally anything. I tried it all. It was all terrible. We had
Ottawa,
like,
sponsor the pod.
Yeah. Stomach aches and the worst headaches. But it was sick. When I was going to Montreal though, Luca had hit me and told me he was like coming from Brazil like just to go to the DJ set, and White Trash Tyler was in Nova Scotia, and he came through too. And Luca's really tight like that. He's always like helped with Spaghetti Boys projects, and yeah, he's like my best friend. So
I've always wondered, like, what's the exact roster? Because it's like it's you two, obviously.
It's me and Ray. There's
like is Ass Pizza a member of the Spaghetti Boys?
Ass Pizza is like always an honorary member. Like there's like, so it's like me, Ray, Erin, who's my girlfriend, helps a lot with operations and stuff, and this kid Corey, who Erin discovered in Seattle and brought him to New York. He like does the website, and he's like insane. He's just like crazy. I'm scared of him. But there's like Tyler, Shaq, Luca, Steve. There's like, yeah, there's a good crowd of like just honorary members that are like kind of always a part of every project in like some kind of way.
And how did everybody initially connect? Like, how did you guys both meet?
Yeah,
Do you want to? Yeah, I mean, well, I moved to New York like 4 years ago, and so I happened to, it was for a job offer, but I happened to move to the same projects that Kerwin already lived at.
Yeah, I was living in the projects in Harlem.
Strange and serendipitous.
And his roommate there was like this like skate spot that I hung out like at, because that was like the only place you wouldn't like get bothered at if you it was like you played basketball, you're like a hood dude, or like you fucking skated and the hood dudes just fucked with you off that. So there was that one spot, and then his roommate told him to come over there, and I just met him there, and yeah, it was like that. He was just like he comes from Kansas, and I'm from here, and we just had like all like we're both into the same shit.
I was going to ask, what did you guys bond about like initially? What was it like?
I don't
besides
know.
Living in the same
we
hood?
both really wanted to start something.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know what the direction was, but like we were into a lot of the same shit. But from two completely different worlds.
Yeah.
And yeah, that just worked.
So what like led up to like where you guys are now? Like what were some of like the stepping stones to getting the Spaghetti Boys to be this collective where you guys do multiple things?
I don't know. I mean, we've always kind of been the black sheep of like this entire like industry thing, just so like we don't really like affiliate too much or like do too much of that shit. We just kind of stay true to what we do. We've been through like so much just to like do the most simple shit though, like like so much, like the worst printers, the worst like deadlines, like just always going crazy. And not till like really this year, when I met Erin, my girlfriend, she like really like helped us really piece together how we were going to go about it and how we should really piece it together, and that like helped a lot. We really needed the structure and the
It sounds like she kind of whipped you guys into shape a
yeah,
little bit.
100%.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
a lot of that. And
So what were you guys doing before that, like in terms of operations? Like, it's like
we
weren't familiar.
We were like just fucking terrible with money. So like
Yeah, us left to our own devices are total fucking retards.
yeah,
So,
we would like make money from something, then like spend it on a bunch of like just stupid. It would just disappear.
What's the stupidest thing you spent money on back then?
I don't know. I have like just splurges of like being obsessed with certain things. So there was like a time where I was like collecting Björk shirts, and I was like on eBay every single day, like spending like $300, like $200, like trying to get every shirt. Then there was like this time I was like super into cassettes, but like just like certain cassettes, like soundtracks and like just like voice stories and like just goofy shit. And then other than that, it'd be like a bunch of food. And yeah, yeah,
It was impulsive,
like,
is what you're saying. Like it was
yeah, super, because we didn't have money, so to us it was just like it still really doesn't even. I don't think with any type of money I would like oh, like, you know what I mean. It helps to like have it and like be able to live, but I still don't know how money works.
I was gonna ask, do you have an accountant?
Huh?
Do you have an accountant? Just like somebody to keep track?
Yeah, that's pending.
All right.
Yeah, we're still working on that. We're getting there. I was actually supposed to like talk to a guy today about that.
Yeah, so when was the initial moment when you guys like realized that you guys had something here and you were going to move forward with the Spaghetti Boys as like an official brand for you?
We always kind of knew it. I don't know. We were doing our own things, and it was really like a side project for everyone. And we like really just realized we had to give it full focus if we wanted to like really take it to the level we wanted to take it in. We don't really like anything else right now.
Right.
And so we were like, we have to do this right. And we really have to put like our all into it. And like, yeah, me and Ray talk about shit like every single day on like where we want to take the brand and like how much we want to like just expand and shit.
Yeah. So how's like the creative process? Is it pretty much like left brain, right brain? Or do you guys like, are you guys both involved when it comes to like, you know, the designing or like, you know, the music implementation?
Right. Designing stuff, it's like mostly Ray. And then I'll give like input and stuff, and like we'll like do that shit sometimes. But then like when it's ideas for like events or an ad we're gonna do and all that stuff, we like really like bounce back and forth when we get in that mode. And that's really tight.
We definitely have the same general goal, I think. You know, I think when we both see shit, we kind of like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's how that should fucking look. Or
Yeah.
yeah, that's the general direction shit should go in.
Yeah. We did a hotline a couple weeks back. It was Aaron's idea to do it, but we got Steve to like do all the voices for it, and he's like the funniest person we know. And literally like we rented out a studio and like just started making a bunch of jokes, and he just fully went off and like did that perfectly. And yeah, it's always sick to do shit. Like we get more excited to do things like that rather than like, I think actual releases and stuff, like more the build around is like so like much more fun.
Everything else besides the actual product, kind of.
Yeah, but the product is still like sick, but like it's
no, totally. But like
we're way more into like
the commercial for it, or like the fucking
it's a billboard.
Or like making a package, like like literally.
And then you mentioned that you moved here from Kansas and for a job offer and stuff.
Yeah.
What were the main hustles that you guys were working on when you started this?
I don't know. I fucking literally just moved here and like, my roommate like stole me a computer from his job, and I don't know. I moved here and just literally started doing graphic jobs for clothing companies. That was I've kind of only ever done that. I've never had any other job really.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, like, when you were doing graphics for, like, other brands and stuff, were you always keeping in mind, like, did you always have, like, the vision of, oh, man, I would do this completely different if it was my brand? Like, did you ever feel, like, any of those, like, frustrations?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I guess kind of why I do Spaghetti Boys is, like, if you're, constantly doing a bunch of other shit for other people, you just get kind of real angry that you can't do what you want or, like, really kind of get your fucking ideas out there. So it's like, all right, well, fuck everything else. Like, I'll put every best idea I have into this, like my own thing, and that's probably how we both feel, right? It's like,
100%.
Fucking doing a bunch of other shit for other people always kind of sucks.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
like
the worst. Have you guys seen the Spaghetti Boys website?
Yeah, like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah,
kind of like the character selection screen.
Corey did that in 4 days.
That's insane.
And it's like the craziest website.
Now, is Corey from New York?
No, he's from Seattle.
Yeah. So, like, how did you guys, like, link up?
It's just like a long story. He was at like a beach in Seattle and he was getting picked on, and literally like kids were like yelling at him, like picking on him, like
some real bozos.
We were all out there just like randomly and saw him, and we said, like, get away from him, like leave him alone, like stop harassing him, So they left. He's like wiping the sand off his like trousers and whatnot, getting up, and he's like, oh, hey, like, what's up? And we're like,
he had dropped his computer on the beach.
Yeah,
his computer was covered in sand, and so he
already had like a prototype.
Yeah, he had all this coding running down the screen,
it's like
on
the
this
Matrix
computer, that was in the sand, and we were like, what is that? He was like, oh, it's just a little something I've been working on, but you guys probably wouldn't be interested. And we're like, no, dude, let me take a look at that. And so that was like, I guess, the kind of skeleton for the Spaghetti Boys website.
No way. And he was just working on that in his spare time, basically?
Yeah. We just, after that, we hired him fully. And
like on the spot, just like, you're the guy.
Yeah, he like lives in our house.
Wow.
Yeah, he's crazy, but he's good.
Yeah,
he's the best.
I always was wondering like how you guys all met, because it seems like a lot
of it,
like
very serendipitous.
Yeah, because I mean how you guys met is a huge coincidence. Yeah. That sounds like one of those kind of like
it's how we all met.
No, stumbled upon it. Yeah,
he like that's like the best website in the game right now. Like I
absolutely.
looked at every other website after that, and I was like, wow.
No, that was a full paradigm shift in websites.
Yeah,
for the fucking world.
Definitely underrated.
Yeah.
Fucking gem. Like that's like blatant proof for like the black sheep.
So like how do you guys look to always like raise the bar when it comes to the user releases, given that like that you guys like to focus on presentation more than the product?
Yeah, it's weird because like every other brand right now is like kind of doing the same shit. So it's like raising the bar is just doing something else.
Yeah, I feel like top of that, raising the bar is not.
It's not that hard right now.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Like the hotline was raising the bar.
Right.
And that's like nobody like cares to do something like that without making it like a retro thing. You know, the site is like, that's already like years ahead of its time. You know what I mean? Like the fact that we can do the performances and all that shit and like still make like, nobody's really like pushing out graphics that like mean anything. It's all like logo flips and like fucking the same shit printed on everything. It's like, but with a whole spiel, it's like
these people aren't making cupcakes, fam.
Yeah, no, but it's true. It's true. It's like it's like going to a gallery and like looking at a shitty painting, and then someone's like, "Oh, well, yeah, this is culture," and like that's like sold to like these kids, and it's
everything
not true.
Is youth culture.
Yeah, everybody in this game is like 30 years and older.
Yeah,
is that frustrating? Like as guys that have literally like grown up in this entire era, like do you guys feel like there's a lot of dudes that are just kind of, or not just dudes, but older people that are just kind of like pandering?
I feel like the old guys fucking
absolutely.
hate us.
Really?
I would hope so.
Because they don't understand it, or why?
I think we always have to get kind of lumped in with all the other shitty stuff out there that kind of sucks, you know. So it's like can't help but just be kind of angry about shit.
Yeah, I was talking to this company. They were like, "Oh shit, yeah, we're just trying to see like what would make the best sense for you guys, like, cause your brand is so untraditional," and it's like, we're very traditional. Everything we've done, people have done in different ways. We're just the only ones doing all of it,
right?
And kind of like really putting in care. Like, would it make more sense if we were just putting out T-shirts and that was it? Like, yeah. So that frustrates me a lot. I think about that a lot, but it's like good. It's always like just proof you're doing something right, you know?
Do these big companies bring you in for like consultations and stuff like that, or do they like kind of just come to talk to you about collaborations?
You said what?
Do they bring you in to like consult, or is it like to talk about collaborating where you're kind of... And then do you kind of feel like when you're being brought in to consult that they're like using you in a weird way?
It just depends what kind of like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been going good. I mean, we love collaborations. Like our first drop was a collab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we love that shit. And kind of like when we did Spray Ground, like the Spray Ground bag is like the goofiest, like stupidest product. Like that's for like hood kids in Brooklyn. But we were like, look, we're gonna take this bag and we're gonna make it look cool. And we like literally did that, and one like resold on eBay for like $500. Like there hasn't been a free product that was handed out.
Yeah, so talking about like, you know, the Spray Ground collab, like there was also a video implementation with it. So how did that come about?
Well, yeah, I mean, just going back to like, you know, us wanting to do like hella goofy commercials, you know, it's like we knew kind of that they would have like the budget for that and kind of the resources and shit. And so, and it's not like, you know, I've always been a huge fan of like, you ever watch like those goofy like Twisted Sister videos, you know, where they're like just like fucking with the teacher and fucking blowing him up with dynamite or some shit.
Chalkboard
you know?
blows up.
Yeah,
and they come through the
classic
wall.
stuff like that. So like we fucking like Spray Ground has a school up in Harlem on like 145th or whatever that they like donate backpacks to. So we went up there and like met with the principal and he like walked us around and you know, so they were like, yeah, you know, pick out kids for this commercial, you know, for the video and stuff. And so we were like, it was super hilarious. We were like walking around like literally like classroom to classroom and like going to lunch and recess and like looking at kids and examining them for like, you know what I mean, for this fucking video. And like, you know, we just picked like the worst kids, you know, like the kids that were getting like yelled at or like the kids that were crying and like hitting other kids and shit. And like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I want that kid, that fucking one that's like screaming and yelling.
The kid that's getting bullied.
It was
basically.
like really like,
No, the kid
like
bullying.
looking at kids and being like you know, like picking them out of their desk and like looking at them like for this video is fucking super bizarre. Like the principal was just like, yeah, just pick fucking whoever, go into whatever classroom, do whatever you want.
This one's good, right?
Yeah.
Wait, you good, bro?
Yeah, we were like, this kid looks fucking weird. We'll choose him. You know,
just roasting the kids as you cast them.
Yeah, we're like, this chubby one looks real funny. We'll pick that kid. Yeah, and then like the teacher in the video was like an actual teacher. You know, I was worried to like, because I wanted to get an actor for it, but then because I was worried the teacher wouldn't be able to like perform or whatever, and then he like just fully went into because like in the video he like screams at the kid and he's like, what is this fucking backpack? And but like, I mean, then I was like, all right, well, he's a teacher, so like he's hella used to just screaming at kids, so he just like fucking totally killed the part.
So when you guys were like handpicking these kids for the commercial, of course, like you guys were envisioning them being in the commercial for the brand. So was there like any like how do you guys see the brand being? Like what do you guys feel like the brand's voice is?
In a perfect world, I'm always designing stuff for like small children. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm doing in my head.
The last
no matter what.
lookbook we did, we picked the two kids that are in it from like the crowd of kids that were like outside of the U-Haul truck when we were throwing the backpacks on Christmas.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that's how we found them.
Oscar and Gus. Yeah. They just like looked hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So like they just kind of looked like the prime like Spaghetti Boys like fan kind of, you know. Yeah, and plus, you know, is wanting to like involve the fucking kids who actually like us and in the shit, you know,
like really give them a chance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what does a typical Spaghetti Boys fan look like? Do you have like you mentioned you don't have the target demographic or whatever?
Because it's
They're
weird.
fucking
it's either
grotesque.
Like graffiti dudes or like old artsy people or like young kids.
Yeah,
and everywhere in between, probably, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, somewhere in between. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like.
Yeah, we don't actually know.
So going back to like, you know, these kids that you guys picked for the lookbook.
Yeah.
So how did that go about? I'm pretty sure they were like excited when you guys like let them know that they were going to be in the lookbook.
Oh yeah, fully, yeah. This kid Oscar, he sent me this crazy picture of like all the Spaghetti Boy shit he had like in his room, you know. And so it was like he had this Sprigger backpack, and then he had the 2 mini backpacks attached to it, and then like he had all the stickers. And then he had all the posters on the wall behind it, and then he had
it's crazy.
all the T-shirts on like hangers next to it. So it was like the
collection.
Yeah, that's how we.
You know what I mean? Like it looked like collectible memorabilia for like a cartoon. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it looked fucking perfect. Like, you know, like Beavis and Butthead putting, you know, just like branding literally every fucking piece of. You know, they're just branding literally any object you could possibly think of, you know, and like I saw that and I was like, wow, that's like exactly what it's supposed to fucking look like. Like he gets it, you know what I mean? It's like, it just fucking looked so sick to me.
And given that you guys are like, you know, really for the youth culture, is it something that you guys hate when you hear like that phrase being used so loosely? We talked about like, you know,
fully,
like
yeah.
100. I mean, when I was growing up, I would fucking hear everybody say that.
Yeah.
And they weren't doing shit for the kids.
Every fucking old dork who makes clothing is like doing some youth culture shit. It's like,
so we always try to push what we're doing to the next level and do the next thing and kind of like show that it's possible to do more. And through that, like even still give opportunities and stuff. Like we did a make a t-shirt contest where we had like all these kids draw what they thought would be a Spaghetti Boy shirt, and we were gonna pick a winner. But it was really sick. There was like over like 300-400 like fucking submissions put in.
Super sick.
And it was like just sick seeing what they thought what Spaghetti Boys was, or like what they thought the design was, and like that kind of like interaction and actually helping them get creative with shit like that.
That was the coolest shit in the world to me.
Yeah,
seeing all
with
this.
us it's always like that. And it's like even with like Luca's like someone who could like easily just be a model, and he fucking hates that shit and like completely wants to step out of that box. And like we always talk about that, and like a lot of our friends are like that, but for him to like take the money he's made and like really invest in like doing gallery shows and like curating, you know, these photos and actually like making cut and sew garments and like getting into that, like that's just kind of what it's about. It's like really just stepping out of that, because it's so easy to like just give in like the homework,
right?
Like, but if you could really make a fucking project and like a cool science project and really hand that in. That's like what it's about for us. It's kind of like always stepping it up and doing more, and like that's what we always try to do. We want to like make like toys.
Yeah,
me and Ray were like talking about that for hours last night. I was watching like a shit ton of documentaries and like really like like
all Spaghetti Boys products are just supposed to seem like fucking Blammo commercials, you know?
Yeah,
like Ren and Stimpy shit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what are some of the inspirations for not like necessarily the aesthetic, but like the things informing it? Because I know that like cartoons and like '90s nostalgia seems to be like a big thing. You mentioned Twisted Sister.
Yeah, I guess I've never. I guess I've never quite like worded it that way.
Yeah, I've
like
never put on the
shit.
90s.
Yeah, it was never like, oh, I want to do old shit, but it was mostly like, you know, that's
just
stuff
just like
that
the
we're
risk
inspired
by from
the risk
that
of sounding
time. It's
corny,
not
like oh,
we want to make retro.
No one's doing it, you know, like they fucking did it back then. But but it's like, you know, no one is actually. No one is, you know, making some goofy fucking toy or like you know, really blowing it out like that, or like you know what I mean?
Sucks now.
Yeah, like it really
so crazy.
Yeah, it really wasn't like, oh, like let's make some shit that looks old or like, but it was really just like let's just fucking do everything. Yeah. Just do it right. That's just how a brand should be. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And so you think that the whole tour merch thing got played out? You think that everybody's just kind of bricking it now?
Oh, 100%. If you look at like old, like, you know, real tour, there's like work put into it, and you can't just Google those graphic designers.
Mm-hmm. It's true, yeah.
So now it's like you see like Travis Scott merch, no disrespect to him or like any of those people, but like you see that merch and the person who made it, it's like a thing, but it's literally like the most basic fucking shit.
Yeah. Or like you look at like some old 90s shirt, you know, and it's like this full fucking print, like, you know, on the collar, like, you know, like there's a screen that just took up the entire shirt that they fucking printed on. And it's like, I think, you know, even like dealing with other brands, you know, that I've done stuff for, it's kind of like there's always like some limitation to where like, oh yeah, we can't print like that, or like this image has too many colors or whatever.
Even we've gone through that problem a million times.
No,
and
it's like
so many people turned down our graphics.
They printed this huge fucking goofy insane shit on this shirt. It's like or like they turn this insane intricate image into a fucking patch or something, and like they didn't care. They just made the threads, they added it, and they did it. You know, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, shit is so weird. Right,
and you guys have done tour merch yourself for like Sheck West, right?
Oh yeah, I guess. So. Yeah.
That was more of a collab,
right?
Than tour merch, because that was like before he even put out the Obama song. Or
yeah.
How crazy is that to like, you know, just see like how much he's grown like, as an artist since like, you know,
really
collaborating.
Fucking bizarre. I almost like kind of don't have a grasp on like his reach. Yeah, just because like, you know what I mean? Like we're just kind of next to him all the time, so it's like I'm always kind of surprised. Like, you know, like even people in Kansas, like.
Yeah, we also met him in Harlem.
Yeah, well, he's like, I don't know if anyone knows this, but he's like, he's the dude I live with. It's his cousin. So like since he was like a little ass kid, he was always in my room, like fucking looking at shit.
And then from there he met Austin, and Austin got him the mic. Yeah, really, and that's how that whole thing started.
Yeah, and I think like White Trash Tyler also did his video, like his very first video. So it's like very like inner circle. It's crazy.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, White Trash Tyler is like the greatest human I know. He's like the most genuine guy.
Yeah, how'd you guys link up? Because he did your guys' commercial, the recent, like the pencil face video.
He did the pencil face. He did the Kylie Jenner dab video.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, he did do that.
I met him through Gabe. Uzi was working on Yeezy Season 3, and they came down to New York, and Tyler's name at the time was Fubu Ghost. But then like we all went to LA for Coachella, I think around the time of the Kylie Jenner dab video time, and that was like right when he changed it to White Trash Tyler, and I was like, that name is sick. And like I don't know, we just became friends from that. I like was stranded in LA like a year and a half ago, and like just stayed at his house for like 3 months. So we've known each other since like the growth of the career. And he's one of the best guys. I love him as a person, but as an artist, like no one's as good as him when it comes to editing and like really capturing moments. And he knows how to take in a room. He knows when to pull out a camera. Like he's really underrated, I think.
Yeah, that's a guy that has a pretty insane career trajectory.
He's so
like
sick.
From like you mentioned, like from Kylie Jenner's dab video all the way
to
up
Kylie Jenner's pregnancy video.
Exactly. In the span of what, 2 years, something like that. That's insane.
Yeah, he wants to get into film and stuff, which is really cool. But he also came to Canada and did that video.
Yeah. So and speaking of like, you know, the commercial that you guys did, the pencil face video, like how was that getting on like, you know, the opposite side of the lens where you're acting and stuff?
I don't know. I'm really fucking bad with lines.
It was hilarious though.
We like shot that at like 6 a.m. and like Father Steve made these huge cue cards, and there was like definitely like over 30 takes where I was getting that shit wrong, and we thought we didn't even have the right footage. We were just fucking sweaty and tired, so we all went home and like woke up at like 9, and Tyler like just started editing it and like did that in 15 minutes. Well, like 10 minutes, like had that ready, but. There's so many ideas we want to do for videos and stuff. Like he doesn't live in New York, so we can't really like link him all the time. So we always try to get some when he's here. Like we did that newspaper video the other day when he was here, and
So what do you guys see like being like the overall trajectory for like, you know, the Spaghetti Boys? Like what's like the end goal?
I don't know. Just like way more product.
Yeah.
A show. We want toys.
Yeah, totally all that shit. Yeah.
Festival.
Like a TV show? What kind of show do you mean?
Yeah, like a TV show.
A cartoon or some shit.
We want to work with Adult Swim.
I was going to say, are they listening to this right now? They should be.
They should be, yeah.
Yeah. I've like met with them before, and they wanted to do more like video stuff before they did that, but I want to like really fully pitch
I think that's what we've been manifesting the entire time for Spaghetti Boys, really, is like for it to finally be a cartoon that merches, like memorabilia is made for, you know what I mean?
We're going to Japan this weekend for the first time.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's going to be crazy.
Is it for like, you know, for you DJing, or is it just going to be a pop-up?
Yeah,
What are you guys doing?
DJing. We're doing ambush fashion show.
Nice.
Sick. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
having, and then we're gonna do Oak, but that's gonna be really tight, and I'm like super excited and nervous to go over there.
Yeah.
I've like always wanted to go there, and Ray too. So
It hasn't really fully hit my brain yet that we're
Yeah.
going to Japan.
Oh, you
yeah,
guys
it's
haven't been?
crazy that we're going
No.
there off DJing though.
Fucking-
That's like
Yeah.
I never. To me, that
It's like the
just-
ultimate fucking place.
Yeah, yeah. To me, DJing just comes like super effortlessly.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of forget it's a real thing because I like normally like in my everyday life like will always be playing music, like no matter what. So yeah, that's been really sick. Yeah,
What are you guys most excited for, like, going to Japan?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of
I
things
don't
like
know yet.
we're
Any stores you guys want to hit up, or like places you want to grab food at, or like what's that?
All of them.
all of
I
them.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to get out there. So that's gonna be sick, and we're setting up to we're gonna do a pop up in Japan next month at Nubian.
Sick.
I think on the 19th, and we're gonna bring Shaq out there, and that's gonna be really tight.
Crazy. So yeah, so I mean, getting into DJing, like, what is the Kerwin Frost like experience? Like, what do you like? What's your mindset when you go to DJ? You mentioned like DJing with the motorcycle helmet on. So like, what's that?
I mean, that's just like, yeah, that's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people will also hate us for that shit because we really don't take anything seriously because everything just seems like you can do a good job and not fucking take it seriously.
For sure.
So I've sat down with like A-Track or like Chase B and then other guys who like I'll meet like at venues, like this guy in Ottawa, Shaq, and they'll like teach me.
Shaq?
Yeah, Shaq. He lives in Ottawa. He just DJs now, but they'll like teach me like the technical like whole like putting all your shit in a box and kind of like matching all the BPMs and like really like doing the songs like that and transitioning through genres and all that shit. But like a Kerwin Frost set is like Chief Keef, Taylor Swift, and Daft Punk, kind of like broth, and then mixed in a bunch of different ways. And I like to like, I wouldn't say fuck with people, but get people to like dance to all of that shit. I really hate like full on trap DJs. That shit's like stupid. It's like, yeah, even those guys who make that music don't only listen to that. It's like, and also, yeah, what about like the people that aren't dudes there? You know what I mean? So like, I really like to mix it up, and I don't know. I like get this energy when I start doing it, where I like really can't control myself, and like I just go crazy. Austin and Ass Feats is like another person who's like that. Like anytime I get to DJ with him, we're like really just going fucking nuts. And Luca's been like emceeing at my sets. Yeah. And we make a crazy team together too. He like, yeah, I don't know if, it hasn't really been caught on footage, but the way he talks to the crowd, he like puts on this like London accent and goes crazy. Yeah. We want to do that and then like go into like making actual music with artists and like original songs and shit.
Anything else like coming up in the near future that we should look out for?
No.
No.
Perfect. And usually we like to try and kind of like wind things up by asking like, if you could time travel and talk to a 13-year-old version of yourself, what's the one piece of advice that you would give yourself?
Jump.
Fuck you.
Perfect. Fuck your teenage selves.
Learn it yourself. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you guys so much for inviting us into the clubhouse.
Yeah, please come anytime, dude.
Yeah,
please.
Real
please
shit.
Help us.
Right. Nobody ever comes. Yo, we're back.
Hey, how's it going?
Gang,
It's Ray
shit.
Martinez from the Spaghetti Boys.
Take two. All right, we're gonna start all the way over from the beginning. Driving culture for it now. So aside from Japan, have you guys done a pop up outside of the U.S. before or within the U.S.?
Yeah.
No.
We did. We had this show in Canada. This is before we even like really DJ'd, and like they were like just crazy enough to like give us a set over there, and so we went out there, and it was like me, Ray, Austin, and this guy Nitin. It was like this like Indian man, he was like really crazy. I don't want to like say too much about him. So like he met Austin. He was like, you know, a big fan of Austin, and he wanted to like help us, like I guess produce stuff and like go to London, which like thank God we didn't. But we went to Canada with him. He's like this crazy sporadic guy, and like there, like I couldn't stand him. I fucking hated him. So anyways, we did that. Then he was like, all right, I guess we're going to London now. So we all get on the plane. Ray leaves to go to New York.
Oh, and then I went to Mexico.
Yeah, he went to Mexico with his girlfriend. And so it was just me, Austin, Nitin, and then Shaq was going to meet us in London. We were all just going to go to London. We all took off over there, like all wearing like these Nike Tech like sweatsuits, like in different colors with these huge black duffel bags, like looking super sus. So we all get there. It's Nitin, me, Austin, Shaq. We're like about to go in London. We were like planning, like I guess just stay there for a while. He was like, "Oh, well, I got this big house. You guys can create whatever you want." We were with this man and the TSA. We like all got to London. We're wearing these tech suits. We get to the TSA people and they're like, "Yo, what are you guys here for?" And like we're not too knowledgeable on like what you're supposed to say. Like people told us you need work visas to do anything. So we're like not saying what we actually do.
Yeah.
So it's like me, Shaq, Austin, and this fucking man, and we just look so crazy because we're all different colors. Like literally, and we're like, "Oh, we're just backpackers. We just came here. We don't have a return flight." So then they look at us and they're like, "All right, step aside for a second." So then they put us in the London box, and that's like when you're definitely not gonna go anywhere. And then after that, we don't know where Nitin went. He just disappeared. And they put me and Austin in like this little playroom. Kind of looks like the waiting room in a doctor's office. And they put us there for like 12 hours, like pulled us aside separately, asking us questions like, "Oh, like, you know, what the fuck were you going to do here? Like, what's going on? You guys are on return flights." We're like, we're not really saying anything. So then at like midnight, they put us in like this, like, they put us in like London jail, like overnight. They're like, "We're going to put you here and then we're going to send you back to Canada." Like, cause that's where you came from.
Right.
So we're in two separate jails. I have like this like weird fucking roommate in the cell who's like trying to start a fire. He's fucking nuts. I turn on the TV, they're playing Tenacious D. So that was comfortable. I don't know what's going on. They took my passport, everything. So then in the morning, they sent us back to Montreal, and we just like did like 3 days of like just DJ sets, and we're like, we'll just live here. Like the girls over there were just like taking care of us and kind of letting us stay in their house. And I woke up one day and I'm like, "Yo, we got to get the fuck out of here." Because it's like, yeah, we couldn't take it. It's like so unreal. You can kind of just get by there. And me and Austin were like, "Well, we can't go back to New York because we told everybody we were going to London to like work on shit." And he was like, "They're going to laugh at us. We're going to be the laughing stock." So I'm like, "All right, let's just go to LA." So we take like the little bit of money that we have, get Zach from apartment 200 to like round it up and like get us 2 flights to LA. We go to LA. We like start sleeping at like Gabe's house, Uzi, on his fucking couch, like just there for days. It's terrible. Like that house was like the Clout Hotel. So
who was staying there?
It was Gabe, Osh Travers, Mike Wax, Brian Dorsey. They're like all the Ill Roots guys. And like, but anybody who came to LA would stay there. So like you could be sleeping and like D Santiago fucking walks in the door.
Crazy.
Yeah. And so I texted Post Malone, and he was on tour with Justin Bieber at the time, the Purpose tour. And I was like, "Yo, dude, we're in LA. Like, we need a place to stay." He was like, "Yo, it's all good. Just stay at my house." He like just got like his huge rapper house. So me and Austin went over there and started staying there for like a month. Like, yeah, it was so crazy. And I broke Post Malone's AC. And the assistant was staying there and was kind of watching over everything. So I was staying in this room, and it was cold in the whole house. But in my room, it was like 100 degrees. So I put the thermostat to 20 degrees or something.
Jesus.
And by the morning, there was a leak in like the assistant's like room. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? You guys got to go. I don't know. You guys have to dip. So during that time, though, me and Austin were like arguing, like literally, I think just frustrated with like nothing working out.
Right.
Because we just wanted to fucking make shit. Like, this is part of like us wanting to just do normal shit at the time when we had no structure.
Yeah.
So me and Austin just like stopped talking. I go to Gabe's house. He starts sleeping at like Jonah's hotel. And like those were the dark times. I was like in LA, like broke for like 3 months, like staying at a bunch of like random white kids' houses and shit. Like it was fucking weird. I was a sicko. And then Nan ended up coming to LA, so Austin started staying with him. And I don't know, I had to drive, and I was like, we still have to do this pop-up. I don't give a shit. Like, we're gonna do it. So like the whole summer was me trying to figure it out. And I met like Maria, who had worked for Edison Chen at the time, and he does like the velo and stuff, you know, all that shit. And they were like, yeah, we'll give you the space, and we'll like make the product, and yeah, so you can do it. So like, I was like, cool. Me and Austin made up. This is like the end of the LA trip. So this is like near Skid Row in LA, 801 Mateo, and we have this spot. And we didn't know what the fuck to do. We just had like 2 racks of clothes, and we had like these Mexicans like paint the whole room yellow.
I flew
like
to LA
Austin's
and
idea.
I showed up, and it was like, it was Kerwin and Austin, this big fucking room was filled with trash. They had spray painted the walls, kind of.
Just like the smell of like sweat and spray paint, you can kind of taste it. It was so heavy. So we had the pop up, and we started it. Like the printers fucked up all our shit, so we were freaking out about that. We had like an Off-White collab there that like released there that no one got because it came out the day the pop up closed. So we like Austin was like, oh well, like if this is just gonna be a pop up, it's gonna be fucking stupid. We can't do that. So let's make it 3 days, 24 hours.
24 hours?
24 hours. We had no security in the middle of Skid Row. It was me, Ray, and Austin.
24-hour thing in Skid Row?
It was never like, oh, you can drop by anytime, because we'd be asleep with the doors locked.
Yeah.
And we'd wake up late in the afternoon, and kids they'd be banging on the door.
We were sleeping on our inventory.
Yeah, we opened up all the boxes of our clothes and were sleeping on it, like.
And then the kids would come in, so we would be sleeping. The kids would bang on the door, like, "Yo!" So I'd get up, fucking stretch, like smoking a cigarette in the spray paint, like.
You're like, get the fuck out of here!
Open the door.
Trying to sleep.
We're like, "Oh yeah, what do you want?" We're like sweating, and people are like buying shit, and like that was that pop up. It went for like 5 days. It was like
wearing the hoodies for warmth.
Yeah, it was the darkest fucking time.
Yeah,
dude.
like because we had this like podium thing for us to stand behind with like an iPad. And so then one day they were like, oh yeah, we took the podium and the iPad because we need it for this other bullshit pop-up thing that's like next door, because the VLONE thing happened next door. And so then it was like just a bunch of clothes in the corner with a bunch of trash. And like all the hangers were on the floor.
Like a bunch of snacks on the floor,
covered in trash and sticky. We were pissing outside in the corners.
There was no bathroom.
We had to go to like stores to shit.
This art store.
We're just and so
it got to the point where we were literally going fucking insane.
My kids would come in.
So
and
by
be
the
like,
third
what the
day,
fuck is this?
The third day, we started just like giving the clothes out for trade.
Yeah.
And we would only let one kid in the store at a time. It was as an experience for kids though, that's like the coolest shit ever though. Like you get to step into this like room, and it's only the guys, no security. Like we had this shotgun. That was like what we had.
Yeah.
We had a shotgun just in case, because we were in Skid Row.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Yeah, no security, just us.
There's like shit
and
everywhere.
You could come in there and actually like, fucking talk to us and like.
It'd be like
really
name your price.
Yeah,
we
were like,
what did people trade the shirts for?
We did like socks, like $5. We did like. Literally,
like $5 or even so. Then like kids would lowball us and be like, "Fuck you."
But then there were some kids who would highball us, and we'd
and then we'd be like, "Oh, well, you just
shit.
get it for free now," know, because you wanted to give us.
We were just going crazy,
close to the
We like never paid Edison Chen back either,
right?
Because we were pissed.
Kerwin, there was this kid who came in and he he like was like, yeah, we were like naming prices, like, oh, $5, you know, whatever. And so Kerwin was like, get the fuck out of here, you know, and like
I got so mad.
Yeah, as he was walking out, he like kicked the back of him. And so then we
The
go
kid,
outside.
wait, hold on.
What?
The kid, I want to tell that.
All right.
So, kick this kid to the ground because he was just trolling and we were going insane. Like, I didn't even know what was real anymore. I can't
It wasn't
remember.
an act.
Yeah,
at all.
It wasn't an act.
Like, kids would come in and, you know, like, the place was just fucking trashed and disgusting. And I was like, you know, it was like, you know, like, you could go to the V-Loan pop-up and see all this, like, fake punk shit or whatever. And we're like...
This is when, like, they were doing, like, the graffiti all over the walls.
Yeah, it was like when that shit, like, first, you know, like, that thing had just... But, like, our shit just looked stupid because we were actually retards. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't trying to, like...
authentic.
Yeah, like,
this isn't just, like, we didn't hire artists to do this graffiti,
make it look
dog.
shitty. It just looked...
That's our shit on the wall.
The kid who I kicked, we thought he was with his mom. And then she was like, oh, like, why'd you hit him? What the hell?
Well, yeah, like, we go
We're going to call the cops.
And it's like the kid's mom and sister in a car. And she's like...
It wasn't his mom. It was his sister.
Oh, it was his big
we thought
sister
it was his
or whatever.
mom,
And his,
so
like,
we were
little
cautious.
sister. Yeah, yeah.
And then she was like,
I thought Cholers
their,
were gonna
like,
beat us up or
compromise
something.
was, like, us giving them free clothes.
She was like, why is there a footprint on my son's back? He's like 12, you know, or whatever. I mean, not to say that Kerwin hit a fucking small child.
Yeah,
but he did, I guess. So,
but
You drop kicked that.
Yeah. Then they all just asked for free clothes. That was their
Or
compliment.
his sister came in and she traded her socks for a shirt. So they were all super pissed, but then they all like wanted the clothing, so they all left with
They went to
Spaghetti
Disney
Boys
World and
clothing.
like took a family photo and all Spaghetti Boys.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why we haven't done one in so long. But when we do one, it's gonna be great.